All right, guys, I just found this on Turki's Twitter. Hear it from himself, but check out his mannerisms and how he's talking. Turki, you gotta stop hanging out with so many Americans, mate.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September,
With Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused on the.
In a surprising turn of events, Saudi advisor Turki Alalshikh has confirmed that Terence Crawford could potentially fight on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez's next major event. This development has sparked intense debate within the boxing world, as the much-anticipated showdown between Canelo and Crawford now appears uncertain, with plans taking an unexpected turn in a completely different direction.
Turki Alalshikh playing games. You got somebody ask Turki Alalshikh, is this happening? Look at his response about Crawford facing Canelo. Look at his response. Make the fight, Turki, make the fight.
The Canelo versus Crawford matchup had been gaining momentum for months, with fans and analysts already making predictions and discussing the possibility of the undisputed welterweight champion moving up to face boxing's biggest star. The narrative seemed to write itself. Crawford, fresh off his dominant win over Errol Spence Jr., was seen as the pound-for-pound king, while Canelo, the undisputed champion at 168, remained the sport's biggest draw, continuing to fight on the grandest stages. The excitement surrounding the fight was palpable. Given Turki Alalshikh's significant role in shaping global boxing through massive events in Saudi Arabia, many believe it was only a matter of time before he made the official announcement for Crawford versus Canelo. However, instead, Alalshikh took a different direction.
injured, and he's starting to rehab now and training again. And we hope to. He's one of our plan to see him fight in 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight, and why not?
You and Canelo, I know you guys are working towards trying to do a fight. What's the status of that?
We will see maybe next month, next 2 months, let's see.
This week, Turki Alalshikh told reporters that he no longer plans to make the fight between Canelo and Crawford, at least not in the immediate future. He mentioned that both fighters could participate in more exciting matchups for now, particularly highlighting the opportunities Crawford has within the Saudi boxing scene. What stood out most, however, was Alalshikh's unexpected comment that Terence Crawford could potentially fight on the undercard of Canelo's next event.
I said to you, Canelo, we are ready to February. Crawford ready, except.
The announcement immediately sparked a strong reaction within the boxing community. Crawford, widely regarded as one of the most technically gifted fighters in the sport today, being placed on someone else's undercard, especially Canelo Alvarez's, shifted the entire tone of the conversation. Canelo responded shortly after, making it clear that he had no issue with the idea. He said, "You know, there are just levels to it. Crawford is an amazing fighter, and I would be very happy to fight on the same night as him." While his comments seemed respectful on the surface, it was quickly interpreted as a subtle jab. The phrase, "there are just levels to it," was seen as Canelo's way of putting Crawford in his place. Not in an aggressive manner, but in a way that carried weight. He acknowledged Crawford's talent, but also reminded everyone who the true headliner was.
Let me tell you what I think should be going. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that.
This back and forth revealed an unspoken power dynamic between the two. In terms of skill, Crawford's resume is impeccable, undefeated, undisputed at 140, and dominant at 147. However, when it comes to marketability, global recognition, and box office appeal, Canelo remains in a class of his own. He has been headlining pay-per-views for over a decade, with his name alone generating millions, and his fights routinely selling out stadiums. When Turki Alalshikh talked about Canelo's event, it's clear to everyone who the show is really built around.
In Riyadh, in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss with the line.
The suggestion that Crawford could fight on Canelo's card, not as a main event, but as a feature bout, quickly became one of the most talked about developments in boxing. It wasn't just about scheduling. It was about hierarchy. Although both fighters had expressed interest in facing each other, Alalshikh's recent decision sent a strong message. He sees more value in showcasing Crawford under Canelo's banner rather than matching them up right away. Whether this move is driven by financial considerations, promotional strategy, or simply timing is still unclear.
So with Turki Alalshikh, did you start to find some of his comments almost disrespectful when he was talking about eat you alive head-to-head on Mexican Independence Day?
Yeah,
if you're smart, you'll take the deal.
I respect everybody. I respect everybody, but I don't like the way he talks. It's his problem, not my problem. And I don't ask for a fight. I don't ask for any fight. So I respect, like I say.
Crawford has yet to make an official statement about the development, but fans online are already divided. Some feel it's an insult to one of the best fighters in the sport, while others view it as a strategic move. If Crawford wants to be part of these massive Saudi events, he may need to play the game for now, much like we saw with Devin Haney on Ryan Garcia's Undercard. The Saudi deal is simply too lucrative for ego to stand in the way.
Crawford versus Canelo. Ryan versus Devin. I think it's a good year for boxing. I think it's a great year for boxing. I'm eager to see this rematch. Hopefully we can get this rematch this year. Hopefully we can get it this year.
Meanwhile, Canelo is already set to headline a card in Riyadh on May 3rd, 2025, against undefeated Cuban super middleweight William Skull. While the matchup hasn't sparked overwhelming excitement, it serves a clear purpose. It keeps Canelo active, fulfills a mandatory defense, and maintains his momentum for potentially bigger fights later in the year. Turki Alalshikh has not confirmed whether Crawford will appear on the same card, but the implication is clear. If Crawford wants to fight soon under the Saudi banner, it could very well be as a co-main event beneath Canelo.
Too excited of us to go out and talk about
September. Congratulations, boys! Yeah! Congrats! We're happy for you. That is awesome. Well, go ahead, Dana.
We actually are getting together with him tomorrow. We're going to shoot some content, and when it's time to announce, we have a massive fight. Literally, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. A massive fight that only this guy could make happen.
The bigger question now is what happens to the Canelo versus Crawford fight itself. While Alalshikh has stepped back from making the fight happen at this moment, he hasn't ruled it out entirely. Sources close to the situation suggest that the door remains open if both fighters continue winning and the demand keeps growing. There's no reason to believe the matchup can't be revived in 2026. That said, some experts have already started analyzing how the fight might unfold, with many leaning toward Canelo. Despite Crawford being regarded as one of the most complete fighters of his era, most professionals feel that the size and power difference at 168 pounds would be too much for him.
Boxing is not 14-inch gloves, not 2-minute round, not beating a legend in the age of your grandfather. Boxing is not like this. Do not name it boxing, please. Name it show. I am not against it. Name it show.
Crawford has fought as high as 154 pounds, but never against an opponent as physically strong and skilled as Canelo. The Mexican star has spent years fighting and defeating larger opponents, including Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Callum Smith. He's also proven his toughness at 175 pounds, holding his own against Dimitri Bivol, even though that bout ended in a decision loss. Many analysts have predicted that while Crawford is technically superior to most fighters, Canelo's body shots and relentless pressure could break him down over 12 rounds. Some have even gone so far as to suggest that Crawford wouldn't make it to the final bell. The jump from welterweight to super middleweight is huge, and facing someone like Canelo, who knows how to neutralize movement and punish the body, will be an extremely dangerous challenge for Crawford.
I don't gotta stop him. I just gotta beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. You know, being that these big guys are slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. You know, they might catch him with a harsh.
That hasn't stopped Crawford supporters from backing him. Many still believe he's a smarter, faster, and more adaptable fighter. They point to his dominant performance against Errol Spence, where Crawford was in control from the opening round. They argue that he has the ability to see things in the ring that others can't, and that he would find a way to exploit Canelo's style, even if he's giving up 15 to 20 pounds on fight night. However, the situation has now evolved into something bigger than just a matchup. It's about status. Crawford fighting on Canelo's undercard, even once, would send a clear message about where the global boxing industry sees the balance of power.
I see Canelo winning, and I'm not, you know, I don't know Canelo very well. I'll say hi to him if I see him. He'll say hi to me too, but we're not friends. You know, I could probably say I've spent more time with Crawford, so I would love to see Crawford pull it out. I would be more happy to see Crawford win, you know, because I know him better. I see him develop in top rank.
Canelo isn't just a fighter. He's an empire. He picks his opponents, sets the schedule, and now even someone as respected and accomplished as Terence Crawford may have to align with his orbit to stay involved in the biggest events. For Turki Alalshikh, this strategy might be part of a larger plan. By having Crawford fight under Canelo's banner first, he can continue to build Crawford's international star power, particularly in the Middle East, while keeping the door open for a potential mega fight down the road. In the meantime, the ongoing drama between the two keeps the interest alive and adds fuel to the narrative. What do you think about the fight? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.